Hi, my name is Philip Cope. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about me and also about my family. The perfect place to start is with my wonderful wife, Rebecca. As you can see from the photo, we were absolutely overjoyed when we finally got married. At this point, we had been dating for almost 7 years, and it took me almost 6 years to build up the courage to ask her to marry me. We started dating while we were in high school. I was a sophomore and she was a freshman. We stayed together all throughout high school, and we also stayed together all throughout college while I earned my degree in education and while she earned her degree in special education. We are both currently teachers. She is working on her master's degree in special education, and I have decided to make a career change. I can honestly say that I got extremely lucky when I chose her. She is the perfect match for me. She's 100% supportive, and we love each other very much. Up next, we have the rest of my family. As you can see from the picture, on the far left is my dad, Kevin. On his right is my sister, Leah. That's me in the middle. On my right is my mother, Carolyn, and on her right is my brother, Derek. The next couple of images that you're going to see are of what my wife and I like to call the grand dogs. The first image that you're going to see is a picture of my dog Gracie. I've had Gracie for approximately 14 years. She's part Jack Russell, part Feist mix. Given that she's a Jack Russell, she's still pretty energetic for her age. She loves to run around, loves being outdoors, still loves to play fight. Just an absolutely all-around, wonderful dog. She's got more personality, I think, than any animal I've ever met, and she constantly grins regardless of what's going on. She's very happy. Gracie has always been there for me through thick and thin. Regardless of what kind of day I was having, I could come home and know that Gracie was going to be there. And my wife kind of feels the same way. Gracie was our first dog that we had when we were married. I brought her along when we moved in together, and it just turns out that we feel like without Gracie, our family wouldn't be complete. The next animal that you're going to see is Lilo. Lilo was originally a rescue pet from a local adoption agency. When we went to adopt Lilo, they did disclose that she was in fact feral. And that she had been caught and brought into the shelter by force, basically. They didn't seem like they felt like she would do very good in a home simply because she had been out in the wild for so long. It was so bad that they even offered us a discount on the adoption fees. Regardless, my wife and I decided to take a chance on her, and it's actually turned out that she is a wonderful dog. She's sweet, kind, loves to snuggle, loves to run around outside, constantly sniffing and barking, and it's been basically a 180 turnaround from what she was when we took her from the shelter. When we took her from the shelter, when they brought her out on the leash, she was absolutely terrified to the point that they were basically having to drag her across the linoleum floor. And, of course, being in a shelter, she was also pretty dirty and actually kind of sticky. I don't know why. But regardless, once we got her home, she actually turned out to be a wonderful pet. A couple of interesting facts about Lilo. First off, she cannot swim a lick, okay? Literally sinks like a rock. I only know this because one day while I was taking her outside to use the bathroom, she slipped the leash. Now, given that she is a beagle and also that she is a little bit wild sometimes, she decided to take off running. At the time, my wife and I were living in a house that was actually pretty close to a river. So while I was chasing her, she, made the decision to just dive right in. And as soon as she dived right in, she sunk. and I basically ended up having to jump in and pull her up from the bottom. So pretty interesting story as far as that goes. The last animal that I'm going to show you is a dog named Sparrow. Sparrow is also a rescue pet. This is partially my wife's dog, but at the same time, all three of the animals kind of draw to me because I'm the one that's most likely to give them food or treats because I'm a weak link and a softie. Sparrow is, I believe, part Dachshund, part Chihuahua, and she basically runs the household. You can see from the picture she's basically about 2 feet tall and, well, probably closer to about a foot, and that doesn't matter, okay? She's the loudest of the three, and if they're going to bark at something, she's the one that's going to start barking. She's definitely got that guard dog in her. So, in the few dog fights that we have had at our house, and it's not often that they get into arguments, she is always the one that's right in the middle of it, ready to, basically destroy everyone else. As you can see, I currently work full-time at a local middle school. I teach language arts and English. I have been teaching for 5 years, and during that time I've taught both high schoolers and middle schoolers, and I can say that in general I prefer to work with middle schoolers simply because sometimes they're just a little bit more excited about learning. I decided to go into teaching for a couple of reasons. First off, my mom and my sister are both teachers. My mom teaches 3rd grade and my sister teaches high school math. I felt like it was a safe option and that it was something that I knew, and it also provided a steady income, so I decided to go into teaching. Looking back, I wish maybe I had given my choice a little bit more thought, or maybe been a little bit more brave. After 5 years of teaching, I can honestly say that I am ready for a new career. I admire teachers. I hold a great deal of respect for the profession, but it is something that I've just come to realize that I'm not suited for. It doesn't really suit my personality. Nevertheless, I feel like I've been pretty successful as a teacher. For the past 3 years, I've had the highest end of grade test scores at our middle school in English and language arts. And I feel like the kids are pretty engaged every day and that they enjoy my class. That being said, teaching, I am a very introverted person, and teaching is kind of hard for me because it forces me into that complete extrovert role where you have to, be up and excited 100% of the time. And that can be a little bit tough, especially if you have to do it every single day for 5 years. I once had a mentor tell me to try everything for at least 5 years. And if after 5 years it didn't seem like it was working out, then it was probably time for a change. And I think I've reached my point where it's time for a change.